Hey, good morning. Thursday, June 10th, 2010. I'm Dave, daveinthemorning.com. Welcome back. Hey, I got stuck in Venice, Italy, for me, for a couple extra days and couldn't film over there. So I missed some shows. Wow, I apologize. I'm back. And when I was driving home from the airport last night, I was listening to the radio. And I'm flipping through the stations. Crazy guy, crazy guy, crazy guy, crazy guy commercial. And it was a crazy guy commercial by Glenn Beck that caught my attention. And Glenn Beck is pushing a new organization, a new tour group. I thought, cool, I was just touring. And it's called Conservative Tours, so that you can travel with people like-minded and have a good time that way. You don't have to put up with some liberal in your tour group ruining your vacation by talking about how things are and disagreeing with everything you say. So, if you want to go with patriots, give Conservative Tours Group a call, and you can travel with great American patriots just like you. Why would anybody want to travel anywhere with a bunch of people that think just like they do? So that the experience can be narrow-minded, maybe? Wow. Have fun, guys. If you want to go on that tour, give Glenn a call. You can go on his Conservative Tour Group. Speaking of ugly, anybody know who Sergio Hernandez is? Sergio Hernandez? No, he's not a golf pro. He's the kid that was shot in the border area between Juarez and El Paso. Dead next to a railroad track. Shot by a U.S. border agent. Why would a border agent shoot a 15-year-old kid? This happened Monday night. Well, the 15-year-old kid was lobbing rocks at him. He was trying to get across the border with his friends. He was lobbing rocks. Here's a note. Ready? This is important for all of us to remember. Don't throw rocks at people that have guns. It's stupid. It's not going to end well for you. Nope, doesn't end well. Chucking rocks at people with guns is a bad idea. Particularly when you've been ticking them off. Just chucking the rocks is going to say, oh man, you know what? I'm so sorry I didn't like you guys before, but now that you're throwing rocks at me, I feel the love. I do. I feel the love. Don't throw rocks, guys. So they're chucking rocks. The border agents were doing a patrol on bicycles on the U.S. side of the border. And a bunch of kids were trying to get across the border. Or, as the official report says, they were playing. They were playing. So they're trying to get across the U.S. border. And they apprehend a couple of them. The other ones are chucking rocks at them. And an agent turns, fires his gun a few times, and hits this kid, Hernandez, and kills him. Now, the Mexicans are saying that the agents were on the Mexican side of the border. There's a shell casing that may have been found over there. Reports are kind of sketchy at this time. The reports, I've read several, and they all kind of have the base story. So there's been probably one press release, maybe two, and all the stories are falling from that. So in the days to come, if the story doesn't die, and I'll try to keep it alive and see what's going on with it, we'll know more what happened. Evidently, there's some videotape of the event as it occurred that the U.S. has given to the Mexican federales, and we'll see what happens with the investigation. Regardless of what happens, this is the second time that a Mexican has been killed by a border agent in the last 2 weeks. The time before this 42-year-old guy got beaten and tased, I guess, until he died. That's what the report says. And the Mexicans were upset about that, Mexican nationals, and then they put this one on top of it, and they're really getting ticked, and they're protesting, and they're scared, and the gringos are bad, and it's on top of the Arizona immigration law, and on top of that is the Border Patrol, then 2 deaths. The Mexican nationals are going crazy. They're not digging the way that we're handling our border. They feel like we're discriminating against them. Maybe. You try to come into the country illegally, maybe we're going to discriminate against you. I don't know. I do know tomorrow that I'm going to talk a lot about immigration, methamphetamines, employment, rural U.S., the role of the government. I'm going to try to tie this whole thing together and put a little neat bow on it so that we understand a little bit about what's going on, at least from a different perspective. And that'll be tomorrow's show. That'll be Friday's show. because I was in Europe, I got to read European papers, and this one blew me away. Did you know that BP is not British Petroleum? I'm sure most of you did. I did not. I thought BP stood for British Petroleum. It hasn't been British Petroleum for years. The same way KFC is no longer Kentucky Fried Chicken, or FedEx is no longer Federal Express. Got news for you, BP. You're still British Petroleum. KFC is still Kentucky Fried Chicken, and FedEx is still Federal Express. I don't care what you say. The initials stand for something. If it's just the name of initials, it's like, what? So anyway, I'm reading a British newspaper, and it's a British editorial talking about BP. And they said that the Americans don't understand the BP executives. Or maybe it's the BP executives don't understand America, but, the BP's doing their best. And that America should be a little bit more forgiving of their leadership because, hey, they're trying. It's just that we don't understand what they're saying because there's this cultural divide, same culture separated by an ocean, language is different, whatever that joke is. But I was reading it, and I couldn't believe what I was reading. Here's the bottom line. From my point of view as an American, BP has really screwed this up, and they've misled the American public every step of the way. And now I'm reading that the people are having hard times getting their money from BP. They're placing claims. Really, that's so surprising to me. I would have thought this wonderful company would have just been giving them money easily. Hey, I'm losing my fishing business. I could use like $5,000 to get through. Here's $5,000. I thought that's the way it was going to be. Real easy for people to get their money. That was sarcasm. BP has mishandled this the entire time. The entire time. I said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I really think that the executives of BP need to have everything taken away from them, and they need to go to prison. If the pilot of an airplane kills people and lives, and he was incompetent in his job, he will go do jail time. He will go do jail time. He will never be a pilot again. If the CEO of British Petroleum is incompetent, people lose their lives, 11, and destroys the environment, which it is going to be done, and is happening as I talk, then he needs to go to jail. He needs to be held responsible for his actions or ineptitude. Being incompetent is not an excuse. And lying to the American people over and over and over and over again, hoping that we won't catch on, isn't working. Bad company, bad man, go away, next guy come in. Okay? And President Obama, you need to break ties with BP, bring another organization in to clean it up, and start prosecuting these people. They're criminals. They are criminals. Anyway, that's about all I have today. I need to catch back up, get some more sleep, and watch tomorrow's show. It promises to be, it'll be very revealing. I'm Dave, daveinthemorning.com. We'll see you.